Hi there, and welcome to the Bradbury Young channel. Welcome to my Friday Sews. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for creating the hashtag Friday Sews, so we can all come together and share our experiences of what we've been doing for the week. So, well, my week, what have I been up to? Well, I've been having to go at a couple of things, but first off, I will start with this particular pattern. It's the Butterick 4669. Which is that one, which is, well, it says it's a sort of corset type thing. It's an over top corset type thing. It's not a fitted corset. It's not one that's, got a lot of tailoring or any boning in it, apparently, for that reason. When I've looked at the instructions and I'd look at it, but I thought, yeah, I do like this style of clothing and garments where it's going to be close fitting. I've always liked them, but I've never been brave enough to give one a go or have a go and see how they fit and see how they work and how they can come together. So I got this pattern and I thought I'll give it a go because this looks like it's meant to be relatively simple. I'm doing view C, which is quite a simple view with the shoulders that come over and then tie at the shoulder. There's two versions that don't and two that do, so there we go. I mean, I do have a couple of corsets, ordinary sort of corsets I bought, online, as it were. One's a little like cincher one, and then I got a slightly longer line one. I must admit I don't wear them that often. They're not overly comfortable, partly because they probably just don't, off the peg sort of clothing, and they don't fit me that brilliantly. Partly because, it's my particular body shape. I really need to learn how to make my own, and that way I'll know they'll fit better. So this is my first venture into trying to make something like this, like a corset. So what I've done is a mock-up, and I've made a mock-up, and I'm going to put that on and just quickly go over what I've made so far. So here we are with the mock-up on, and well, I know it needs some alterations, some changes, but this is straight off the pattern. This is straight from, I took it from size 16 from the pattern, and I didn't do any adjustments. I just put the layers together. What you've got is a lining layer, and then inside you've got a heavy sewing interfacing, and then the outer. And yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. Obviously, I've not put in any bias tape because you also make the bias from your outer material, and you obviously stitch around all of these edges with the bias tape. It's got a slightly odd construction for the back, the side seams onto the back there on this particular pattern on view C, but there we go. And obviously it would then be fastened up at the front. Now I know that my body shape means that I've got to do some adjustments. The first thing I've noticed really is, besides doing lots of measurements, I have found that this size really is a little bit small. It's just a little bit too snug, I think. Even if I was to try and lace it up, it wouldn't, even though I want it to bring me in, it's just a little too much. So I probably need to go up at least one size. Also found that this piece doesn't seem to match up very well. So I think actually I need to do some adjustment, possibly in the length of this piece. I almost feel that the whole thing needs to be lengthened a little bit for my body shape. I don't know, I haven't decided yet whether I would do that, but maybe just another inch maybe to lengthen the whole thing. Bit of work that to do. The other thing is that this line here, this one here, is not a very good line for me. I knew as soon as I started to do it that line would have to be changed. It doesn't fit my body shape really, my body form very well, and I knew it wouldn't because of what this particular garment is. So I do need to change that. I've had some experience of trying to change that shape, effectively like a princess seam adjustment, so I'll have to get my notes out and do that adjustment so I can get a better fit across the upper part of my body But yeah, I think actually the design is not too bad. I quite like it. I like the fact that you've got the straps that come over and then fasten up, and of course just use a bit of I don't know what it is really, something to just tie it together so I get the idea. The back isn't too bad. I quite like the back. The back shape is almost there. Like I say, I think it just needs to go up one size. I like the way that that sits there. It's not too low. I don't want it to come down too low. So the back is almost there. So I think, as I said, I probably just need to go up one size, but then make the alterations to the front and this seam, and then see where I am and do another mock-up just to sort of get the idea and see if there's anywhere else that might need some other adjustments as well. Again, it's meant to be that it will come across evenly, but on me it doesn't quite. I suppose partly because of my body shape. So I think really I need to make an adjustment to this seam needs to change, and this front piece needs to be altered to some extent to make it give that better fit. So yeah, some work still to be done on this, but hopefully with a little bit of time I will have another mock-up to show you that will fit a bit better. But this is a good starting point for me. I know what I've got and what I need to change on it. So yeah, so all in all, it's a nice little sort of corset, over top corset, that I like the style and design of it. And once I get the fitting right, I'm sure it will actually come together quite well. So there we go. Mock-up number 1. Now, anybody that watches my channel regularly will know that I like to go thrifting every so often in my local thrift store, which is not that far away from me. And I normally pick up something, not always, but this week when I went there, I picked up a little bag of something. This little bag of stuff. Now, it's like a bag of notions, it looks like. And I picked it up, had a look, and the label said £1. And I thought, that can't be bad, I'm going to go with that. So I spent £1 of my money on this bag of assorted things, and I wasn't really sure what was in there because it was sealed up, it was wrapped up, so I wasn't totally sure what I was going to be getting. So let's have a quick look at what I've got for £1. So let me just carefully take this out because it's a bit crinkly. First of all, there is a little bit of material. There are 4 pieces of material, and they're not very big. I don't think they're even, they might be fat quarters, but I don't think they're even that size. That's what you get, a little piece. And I've got that 4 different pieces, 4 different little prints on there. They feel like cotton, so hopefully they are. But yeah, nice little pieces. This one's got strawberries and cherries and little flowers on it. This one is more of a sort of a greenish colour, turquoise almost, with some flowers on there. And this one is not, again, it's like almost a turquoise colour, but with just some white speckles on it, just random speckles. And the last one has got just strawberries on it. There we go. So there was those 4 small pieces. I've got a 20 centimetre 8-inch ordinary pink dress zip. There you go. I got some bias tape, some sort of slightly pinkish colour. It is, isn't it, pink really? It's a lightish pink colour. That sort of much. I don't know how much is there. It wasn't in a roll like this, it was all messed up. I didn't measure it, I just rolled it up neatly. So some of that bias binding tape. The other piece of bias binding tape I got was this, some creamy stuff, a much wider bias tape. 25mm is it, 1 inch sort of bias tape. It's sort of a slightly creamy colour. So yeah, bias tape, fantastic. Bias tape's always good to have, like lots of bits and pieces, not too short a piece, as it were, but you know, some lengths of it, because it's always handy if you suddenly think, oh, I've got a little job, but I just need that small amount of, you know, ½ metre of bias tape, and you haven't got it. It's such a pain in the backside. So I always like to get those sort of things. I've also got some, well, it's basically like stretchy lace, elastic lace, as I call it. This one, it's sort of like that, yeah. It's a grey colour. I don't know why it's grey. Was it meant to be that colour? Did it get dyed that colour? I don't know, but that's what it is. Sort of stretchy, 1 inch wide grey stretchy lace. And I've got quite a bit of that. There's quite a lot there. Again, all messed up. I rolled it up myself. Then the next thing I got was, there was a marker pen in there. You know, and those water erasable pens with a medium tip, you know, they come in handy. I've got plenty of them sort of things. It's always good to have another one, isn't it, you know, hanging around. Another item was this, was a bra extender. New improved design, it says. You know, just one of those basic things. It was in there. So I presume somebody might have had this set and perhaps they were thinking of doing some underwear project or something, because that's what it makes me think of, that what they might have been doing, whether it be underwear, knickers, bras or something. This is what it makes me think that they were possibly doing, the sort of things they were after. That's why it's got all these in. And then the last thing I've got is this. Again, it's some elastic lace. The sort of thing I would expect to find on undies or something like that. You know, it's a nice little trim in pink. Pink is not my thing greatly. I do like the colour pink. I don't mind it, but it's not something I go to first off. There are other colours that I would naturally go to. Greens and blues are more my favourites. But pink is okay, and it's, you know, in a sort of limited amount on a project. But I got loads of this. This was just in the bag, a right mess. So I wound it round the card that the pen came in. And there is lots there. I have no idea how much, but there is a significant amount there. So yeah, brilliant. So that was my find for £1, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And last up, I've got this dress, this Pinafore dress. Well, actually, I haven't made this Pinafore dress today or during the week. I've actually made this quite some time ago. I think I did do a video on this Pinafore dress that I made, and it's from a curtain. I'd found this curtain and upcycled it into this. So I had to completely draft this pattern, and the idea is to use a simple method as possible. So basically it's sort of rectangles and squares with not too much else. I do have the closures. I made the sort of closures on the side here with the buttons. I had to work out how to put them in and make that work completely on my own without any help, I suppose. I did have a pair of dungarees that I could look at to sort of get an idea of how it works, but then I had to draft it in and work out how to put it in myself. But there you go. Nice Pinafore dress, and I really do quite like it. There are a couple of amendments that I wanted to make to it. One is the fact that I don't have any pockets. No pockets there. I don't have a pocket on the front, which I would like. So yeah, so I've got to put pockets in. And then it's a case of, what material shall I use? Well, I'm going to use this material, which is that. Just come a bit closer so you can see. This is a strip from the pattern. I've already cut the pattern out, but this is a strip from that material. It is some Laura Ashley material that I thrifted not too long ago, and I actually ended up with quite a bit of it. I think it was almost 3 meters of it, and it only cost me, I think in total, probably about £3. You know, I'm talking probably maybe less than that, maybe a couple of pounds for sort of nearly 3 meters of Laura Ashley material. Now this stuff, if I remember right, it was linen, cotton and a bit of nylon. But yeah, it's a lovely, lovely print. And I thought, as this is a sort of slightly heavier sort of almost like cord type material that I turned into this Pinafore dress from a curtain, I thought this material, being almost like upholstery material, it's very sort of, I'd say it's almost like a cotton canvas, but I know that it's linen and cotton, but it is very much that sort of upholstery sort of material. So yeah, I thought that would go brilliantly. So I've cut that out. Haven't done anything else with it. I've just cut it out so far, and I worked out and made a couple of pockets. Now the pockets I'm going to do one on either side. Now I've got a panel here. There's the back, and I've got this side panel. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to stitch the pocket into the seams there. So I'll have a big pocket on the side there, on both sides, and just stitch it on the bottom first and then stitch into the side seams. And that way I'll have two big pockets on the sides. I think that'll help loads. And then of course I'll put a patch pocket on the front here, which I think will work perfectly fine. So there we go. I'm going to remake this Pinafore dress with this Laura Ashley material. I say it's cut out, it's ready to go. I just got to start stitching it up and putting it together. Yeah, there we go. So there you go. That was my week. Not overly productive, really. You know, one mock-up made. Got to do the adjustments, and I will have to do another mock-up to make sure that I get those adjustments right, because with the corset it does really need to fit properly. So I've still got quite a bit of work to do with that one. Then obviously the Pinafore dress that I'm remaking, that shouldn't be too hard. That's not going to be a big thing. It's just a case of, now I've cut it out, I've just got to get sewing it up together and just see how long that takes to get it all in one with the pockets this time though. So there we go. And of course a little bit of a thrift haul with that little bag of notions and stuff. That's brilliant. I love sort of getting stuff like that, because it all helps to fill in, you know, those little extras that you need when you need them. So, you know, if you find yourself a bit short, just brilliant to find little bags like that help fill up my store, or my stock as it were, or my, I don't know, my I call it my sort of junk accessories stuff, you know, the extra things you always need but you never have when you go to find them. But there we go. Anyway, that was my week, and that was it from me, I suppose, all I've got to say about. So if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up, do subscribe, that way you'll always get notification of when my videos come out, especially if you click that little bell icon. Please do comment. I do love reading your comments. It's always nice to hear what you're thinking and what you're up to. And if you wish to comment between yourselves, please do, because that's why we come here, isn't it? To come together, to make that connection and have a conversation. So I think it's just left me to say thank you very much for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing my next video. Bye.